Text, Dutch Slough Tidal Habitat Restoration. Water ripples as reeds rustle in the wind. A map displays San Francisco southwest of Sacramento. Dutch Slough lies between the two cities. Text, John Kane, Director of Conservation.
I first came out here in 1998 and I was working to identify tidal marsh restoration opportunities. And when I walked along Lower Marsh Creek, it was obvious to me that this was a relatively easy opportunity to restore a large area of tidal marsh to benefit the fish and wildlife that historically have made their habitat in the Delta.
The Dutch Slough project is about 1,200 acres, and it used to all be contiguous. It used to all be one piece of landmass, and it was all tidal marsh, where the tides come in and then the tides go out. So it was a wetland. The soil was completely saturated. It was completely covered with tules and other emergent plants. Really rich. It was creating a lot of food for fish and birds and other kinds of wildlife that used to live here when it was a marsh.
Patty Finfrock.
We used to have here in the Delta about 360,000 acres of tidal marsh. And we've only got about somewhere between 2 and 5% of that left, because around the turn of the 20th century, throughout the Delta, humans came and started building all these levees and isolating thousands and thousands of acres that were really productive and putting nutrients out into the main channels. We isolated those. So it basically shut the grocery stores for most of the animals. I mean, there just wasn't that much for them to eat anymore because these tidal marshes are so productive for the base of the food chain.
Our early vision for Dutch Slough was a habitat restoration project, but as we started working with local people, we realized that what people wanted is they wanted open space and recreational opportunity, they want clean water, and they want public safety. We don't have to just restore habitat and set it aside for nature, which I really believe in, but we can do it in a way that provides lots of benefits to humans.
When we breach the levees, and then we have this natural change in hydrology every day with the tide coming in and the tide coming out, it's going to introduce a lot of native small little animals, the little single-celled animals that nobody ever sees, and then clams and all big insects and all kinds of things that live in the water will come in, and then they'll populate our tule marsh. And then the fish will also come in. So the fish will come in with the tides. We have a run of salmon here in Marsh Creek. So they go up Marsh Creek and they spawn, and then the little salmon come down Marsh Creek on their way out to the ocean. So we're going to route Marsh Creek through the middle of this parcel. So we will have these baby salmon coming in here, and hopefully they will see this as a really great neighborhood to sort of grow up in, because it's going to provide everything that they need. They need the same things that we humans need. They need enough food to eat, and they want a safe place to live and grow up to be big fish instead of being eaten by bigger fish.
A large fish.
The physical design of the Dutch Slough project is actually a controlled scientific experiment so that we can learn not only whether the project worked, but why it worked.
The Dutch Slough project was definitely designed to help us learn about restoration in the Delta. What's the best for fish? What's the best way to design the channels? What are the best elevations? Is it really as valuable to young fish as we hope that it will be? So we're going to study all of those things. And then all of that knowledge that we gain here will be used elsewhere for future restoration so that we can do better designs to get better ecological results. We call this a living laboratory because it's going to be a place for people to do experiments, and the knowledge that comes from that will help make future restoration projects more cost-effective and more ecologically valuable.
The Dutch Slough with dark blue water curving around wetlands. Text, California Eco Restore, a stronger Delta ecosystem. Produced by Department of Water Resources, State of California. Seal with the outline of California over fields and river.